All right. We are joined today by the head coach and student athletes from Oklahoma. From left to right, head coach Jenny Baranczyk, Skylar Van, and Reagan Beers. Coach, please begin with an opening statement.
I don't really know what to say today. No, honestly, you could tell that we know that Florida Gulf Coast is good, and having played them a year ago, and you could tell we were a little bit tight, and I thought the more fun that we had throughout the game, the better we got, especially in that fourth quarter. But I was proud of, I thought Skylar just set the tone from a rebounding standpoint. I thought she was just phenomenal and just kept us going. And I was really proud of a lot of our players. We could have gone south because things weren't necessarily going well for us, but I think we poured into each other. And sometimes you just have to be able to do that. So you got to find different ways. And I felt like, we defended just well enough. Maybe not that third quarter, but I felt like we defended well enough in the first half to just keep us afloat. And then we kind of got ourselves going. But hats off to Florida Gulf Coast. They're just a great, great program.
All right, we will now take questions just for student athletes at this time.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman. Skylar, can you talk about just what this means to you to be here on this stage, and what especially that second half and that run y'all made there at the end of the fourth quarter to finally stretch the lead? It looked like you were having probably as much fun as you've had your time here.
Yeah. I think I just told myself even before the game started in the locker room, I was like, just play with joy, have fun. And I'm like, this could have been my last game in my college career. So I think I just wanted to play with joy with my team. And I think we did that, especially in that fourth quarter, going on that run. And I think we were just putting each other in really good positions. It's made it really easy.
And a follow-up for you, Reagan. Just what has Skylar meant to this team? And just just that, just what she's meant to this team and what she meant today.
Look like myself. Skylar has. The minute I was here on my official visit, Skylar and Peyton especially, but Skylar was just like, "We want you here. We need you here. We're gonna win when you come here." And like to have that said to you and have so much confidence put on you, not just from Sky, but from the coaching staff, but Skylar especially, just constantly lifting you up, and to have that as someone who's been here and came back for her fifth year is just absolutely incredible. And to have her as our center and part of our core on this team all year has just been special. And I told her after the game, I was like, you balled out. And it was so fun to watch you. But that whole time she was hitting shots, she was constantly turning to her teammate, turning to me, turning to everybody else and saying, let's go, let's play defense, let's shoot it again. There's a stretch where I couldn't make a layup, but she was like, shoot it again. And to have someone like that and to have that leadership on this team, and you said it like could have been your last game, but just to play like that today was just absolutely incredible. And I could not be more thankful for her and for the other seniors that have just poured into this team all of this year.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
James Hale, OKC Sports Radio. You guys need a moment?
No, we're good. We're good.
Sky, you look like you were looking for your shot more than sometimes you have this season because you've been a good passer and everything. But were you looking for your shot more today?
I mean, definitely. And I think I give kudos to my teammates and us, the staff. They've been telling me that all, honestly, year to look for my shot more and be more confident in my shot. And I think, my teammates were just giving me the ball and putting me in good positions to shoot the ball. And, I mean, everything was just going in today, so.
Jesse Crittenden, OU Insider. Reagan, that was a game that, going back and forth. It was close.
Yeah.
Going into that fourth quarter, you guys outscore them. 26-10, you had that stretch. I think you scored 7 unanswered. Just for you personally, what were you looking for in that fourth quarter, and what was key to you guys kind of pulling away?
I think going into that fourth quarter, especially, we knew we had to pull away and stretch where it was close. It was important that we kept pouring into each other. And Jenny reminded us of that the whole game. Because when we pour into each other and we are playing with so much joy, it's easier to go on those runs than we're playing frustrated. And there was a stretch where I was, and I had my teammates and coaches to kind of pull me out of that, obviously. And so, but it's important that we flip that switch. And I think Skylar set the tone, obviously rebounding and being relentless, to Harry coming in defensively. And when we flip that switch, it's fun, obviously, fun basketball. But it's definitely what we needed to do and helped us make a run when we needed to.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with the Tulsa World. Skylar, you hadn't had the year individually that you had last year. How frustrating has that been, and how difficult was that to overcome, and what got you going today?
I guess it's a little frustrating, but also when you just have a team with so much depth and so much talent, I mean, it's going to be anybody's game at any time. And I'm just lucky and blessed to have the teammates I've had around me. This has been one of my favorite years, which I don't know if that's hard to believe, but it really has, just how we've been connected and how hard we've worked this year to get to this point. It's been my favorite year in college basketball. So.
And she's worked through stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see that,
100%.
and she still shows up every day. I know it's not my turn, but it's been really impressive because you don't get to see that a lot in college athletics. And we've a lot's been highlighted lately, especially in the NAL world.
Yeah.
But for her, I've been really impressed with her every day still showing up.
Yep.
It's been pretty cool.
James Jackson, Sooners Illustrated. You all spoke about the crowd maybe being a big factor for you all in this environment.
Yeah.
Now that you've experienced it, I mean, just how big was it for you all tonight?
It was. We love you, Sooner Nation. First of all, thank you so much for coming out. We need you back on Monday, first and foremost. But to have that crowd, to have that home court advantage, truly is so much fun. And to be able to play in that environment, and to, when we did go on a stretch where we had a bit of a drought, or we had to flip that switch in that fourth quarter, and the crowd was behind us, that's really, really important and a fun environment to play in. So we're thankful that they all came out. We need you back on Monday. So we will see you then.
I couldn't agree more. Ring kind of said it all. But I mean, women's basketball is fun. I feel like we've seen that throughout the years. And to see that crowd kind of just supporting you, I mean, definitely, like Reagan said, home court advantage, that's something we've been wanting since we've been going to the tournament for the past 4 years. And to have that finally, I mean, it was great. So, yeah, shout out Sooner Nation.
Yeah.
Tarek Mostery, Norman Transcript. For both of you, obviously Florida Gulf Coast brings such a unique offense, and you guys had plenty of time to prepare for that. But how different was it actually going up against it, and the number of threes they took, and how much you guys had to rebound and things like that?
I mean, they're very different from what we have played, especially like in conference. We played a lot of big girls. So with their size, I mean, that was an adjustment for us naturally. They're fast. They can shoot. They can get to the paint. So, I mean, that was a huge adjustment. And playing them, obviously, like, I think we guarded really good in the first half. Then third quarter, they kind of started taking advantage of, one-on-ones. But I think we made adjustments. We were in that help. And we made it a little bit harder for them that fourth quarter to get those easy buckets they were getting in the third quarter.
Yeah, Skylar said it. FGCU 18-0 in conference, that's a hard thing to do. So coming into the tournament, we knew that they were going to be a difficult team to match up with because of their speed, because they can get downhill very, very well. And so it was really important that our guards keep everybody in front, which I thought Zaya did a phenomenal job at one point. I think I screamed at her from across court. I was like, yes, Zaya. She did it. And so, but our guards did a phenomenal job kind of containing when we needed to contain. And I thought that was really good. And then obviously when we needed help, people were rotating. And so when we were in that and we were in that flow of defense, it's difficult. It's difficult to score on us, and just like any good team. And so it was fun tonight. FGCU, credit to them. They were a difficult task tonight.
All right. You guys can head out.
Thank you.
Take questions
you.
for Coach. All right. Questions? All right.
Just before we start, just know that I did go to Iowa. So, just thought I'd throw it out there. Okay?
Jesse Creighton, an OU insider. Jenny, that's a game, they kind of wouldn't go away. It was going back and forth. What was key just in that fourth quarter for you guys to get that separation and pull away?
Well, I liked the way that we started the game, and then we kind of got tighter as the game went on, honestly. And I thought the biggest keys, obviously Reagan kind of coming alive in our ball movement. I thought Peyton Verhulst put people in really good positions, and then you have Skylar. And I think Skylar was just so relentless tonight in terms of rebounding. I just thought she did a really nice job. And then, I'm going to, Zaya was about the same. She had a first half that was a little tough, but then I was really proud of the way that she was able to come out of it a little bit too. She got a little too frustrated with the fouls, and she got a little too frustrated with some things, but she hit a big three too. So I like the way that our team is responding. Sometimes I want it to be a little faster than it is. Obviously, coaches, we want everything yesterday. But I was proud of just our overall response, because it was a team response. It wasn't, all of a sudden Reagan just started making shots. That was a byproduct of, I think, our team response.
Yeah, Barry Tremmell, Tulsa World. Since you brought it up, Jenny, what do you think about playing the Hawkeyes How emotional is it going to be? I mean, all the people you know over there, including the head coach, all those things.
Yeah. Well, first, I just want to, I got into coaching because I loved my experience. I loved playing basketball, and a lot of times people get into coaching for different reasons, but I did it because I loved it. And so obviously Iowa always has a place in your heart, and then there's people that are still there. And, even when they had their kind of trouble part of their season, and it's easy to still cheer for them and want them to do well. And we know that every time you step into your game against them, both teams want to win, and that's okay. But I've played them 9 straight years at Drake, so I don't have this is the first time that I'm going against my alma mater. I don't have that, and quite honestly, I know those are incredible storylines, and the NCAA tournament likes to do that. But I'm so excited about this team that I get to coach here, and their resiliency in this season that's been an interesting season, being the first in the SEC. And being able to see what we can do on our home floor against a really good opponent in the NCAA tournament on Monday. And I want to see these fans show up, because everybody is showing up on a national level for women's basketball right now. And I think we're getting there here. I really do. I think people in Oklahoma are really starting to pay attention. Look how many people are in here now. You all weren't in here the first year. You all weren't necessarily in here. I mean, you've been following us and you've been great, but you're in here because people are interested in it. And so I love your interest. I love what you guys have all given. And you can start to feel that our fan base is continuing to grow. So I was lucky to go to a place that women's basketball matters, and I got to play in front of some great crowds too. And I'm lucky to be at a place that you can see that it's coming. And if you could print that I was better than Caitlin, please do. I tell my kids that.
James Hale, OKC Sports Radio. I'm curious, you guys were off 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. You could tell a little bit.
Well, I think that's hard to come back and play after that. What was that like, and what did you think? How do you feel like your team handled that?
Well, again, I feel like we had some really good opportunities. We missed a lot at the rim today, and again, you got to credit Florida Gulf Coast too, because they're scrappy. Again, kind of like Sky said, I don't want to underestimate. That's not always easy, even though we are like, oh, you guys have a size advantage, and so you're pounding the ball inside. They're fast, they're small, they're scrappy. It wasn't like they were just going to lay down. And we haven't played against that for a long time. We've played against a lot of length and size, and so there is an element that we had to adjust, and I think we got in our heads a little bit. But then when the game needed to, be the game, I feel like we did a nice job of being able to convert on that. So I don't want to. I don't think anybody panicked, but I think we were just like, okay, at some point we can just start to adjust and be better, and I thought we did.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoma. Jenny, you talked quite a bit about Skylar there, but I wanted to ask you about specifically her role in that big run late. Reagan scores, I think, 7 consecutive points. A couple of the last 2 plays were assisted by Skylar, and sort of made that thing go. Just how integral was she in that run, and what did you see there?
Yeah, no, I thought she was huge, but I don't even know if she was just huge in that run. I think she was huge the whole game. I think she just kept us steady the whole game. I thought her leadership was good. I thought her energy was good. Again, the way that she just went after the rebounds, I thought was, we can tell when Sky is Sky when she does that. And she just, she's always had this unassuming way where she comes up with something that none of us can figure out how she did it. And I thought that's really what she did during that time. Obviously, she hit a big 3 to start that quarter, but I was just really impressed with her demeanor, even when, because they were ISOing our bigs, and that's hard to be able to do all the time. But I thought, she got scored on a couple times, and I thought she adjusted. I thought she did a really nice job of staying steady and figuring some things out. So I think it was probably a microcosm of her season. There were some moments where she just was steady, and it was maybe under the radar steady, where we all want the flash, and then there were moments of the flash. So I think, she said it best. This has been a fun year for her, and it's been personal growth, and it's also been all about team development. That's what makes her special, and that's what's making us, have the season that we can and the team that we have.
Right here on the back row.
Davis Cordova, Norman transcript. Jenny, you guys set a tournament record 72 rebounds tonight. I guess just talk about how you guys got to that point and how you guys can continue that.
A lot of missed shots. Lots of missed shots. But no, I thought, Reagan having 18 rebounds, Sahara having 10, Sky having 9 and 7 offensive rebounds. That's how you do it. Liz Scott, and she had limited time. She had some foul trouble, obviously, but with 7 rebounds in her limited time, that's impressive too. So, but it was a game of pace. I think there's part of that where both teams are really getting up and down, and I think it was a fun game for a women's basketball fan. And so I think that was a huge part of it. So, the 23 offensive rebounds means that we missed quite a few, but at least we were there to cover them up.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Sorry. You thought I was going to say something really nice and positive. And hey, but in all fairness, I really do. And I hope that you took that as a major compliment that people are invested, because you guys have covered us and just done an amazing job. So I just really, really appreciate your coverage. So thank you. Boomer.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We are now joined by the head coach and student athletes from Florida Gulf Coast. From left to right, head coach Chelsea Lyles, Dolly Cairns, and Skylar Gill. Coach, please begin with an opening statement.
I'd like to start by giving credit to Oklahoma for the job they did and how well they played. So all credit to them and their coaching staff. And then I'd like to give credit to our players for how hard they played, how hard they worked all year, and for the job they've done.
All right. We'll now take questions for student athletes only.
Jordan Davis with Oklahoma. First, obviously got things in the way that you guys wanted to. When you look back and reassess this season, just for starters, how would you guys say from top to bottom you guys assessed it?
I'm just really proud of this team. We've faced some adversity this whole year, and we've responded really well. I'm proud of the way we fought today. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, so I'm just overall just super proud of everybody.
What Dolly said, we fought through adversity. The beginning of the season didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but we fought through, came together, and we got what we needed to do done.
Shane Harvell of FGCU Athletics. Dolly scored 15 points tonight and against probably one of the top 10 teams in the country. And a couple ASUN schools were actually able to kind of shut you out. But tonight you were on fire. How were you able to get open and knock down those threes?
Yeah, just credit to my teammates for getting the ball to me when I was open. I wish a couple more went down, but just credit to my teammates for setting screens for me, looking for me, getting the ball to me when I'm open.
And Skylar, you were probably one of the main reasons why FGC was able to fight and claw back in it and get within 5-6 points going into the fourth quarter there. What were you able to do and see up top of the key and drive into the paint?
I just had to give everything I had left in me. It was all I had left, and I knew my team needed it at that point. Monty had gotten some foul trouble. We needed to pick our offense up a little bit, and I just had to attack and shot fake. I knew I was smaller out there, and I just had to do what I do and use my body.
And it looked like you had your own little fan section over there on the side. How many people did you bring down from Wichita, Kansas?
I think I had 42 tickets I had to put in. Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun. I was glad my family got to see me play this year. They got to see me play a little bit while I was at Kansas, but I'm glad they got to see me play here.
And for both of you guys, transferred here and were able to go to NCAA tournament runs. And for those freshmen looking to find a school or someone that's in the portal coming on up, and what would you say to them to come to FGCU and have this experience?
Just putting your trust in Coach Lyles. I think she's done an amazing job this year taking over, and we couldn't be more grateful that she was the one that got to take over and lead us and support us through the very hard time we had when Coach Mesco left. And I think it's just it's a winning environment. It's a good environment that, I mean, I wish I could have spent all 4 years here. I'm upset I didn't, but I can't change it now, and I just had to give it all I had with my 1 year.
I can say the exact same thing. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Love playing for Coach Mesco, Coach Lyles. Just really proud of our whole team this whole year.
All right, I know we have a couple Zoom questions. Let's go to Jaron on Zoom.
Hey guys, Jaron May with Gulf Coast News. Obviously a big factor in this game was their size. How much did that play into how you guys approach this game?
That was probably the number one focus. It's hard to win when you give up 23 offensive rebounds. They just kind of beat us down the stretch with that. So that was tough, but I'm proud of the way we fought. We tried our best to stop them in the paint, but they just went on a couple more runs and we could stop them.
Oklahoma. You talk about obviously coming in the game and being a big physical presence for you guys towards the end of that third quarter. What was it in that fourth quarter where obviously Beers and Van started really getting attacking? And what would you say, what was it about just their paint presence again that was so tough to stop them, I guess you could say, in the final frame?
I'd say towards a little bit towards the end, they just started burying me, and it was hard. I tried to work around all game, and I did the best I could, but there after a while they just started burying us. And I mean, there's some things we can fight through, but there's a lot of things with size we can't fight through all the time. But I'm still proud of everybody and how they fought, and we did our best. I mean, they're obviously a lot bigger than us. There was no secret to that, and we knew that coming into this game, so I'm proud of what we did.
I think we'll go one more question on Zoom and then dismiss the student athletes to Zach.
Zach Oliveri, Wink News, CBS Fort Myers. For the two of you, just how would you want this team to be remembered? And kind of the legacy that this team had. And
I mean, like we said before, we've been faced with adversity the whole year, and just the way we respond to any challenge that's thrown our way. We always have a plan for it. But really just this group of people. I love this group of people, my teammates, coaching staff, just everybody a part of this program. And we just have a really strong connection with each other. And I think that's what I'm going to miss the most. And, yeah.
I'd say just that this team is strong. Coach Mesco, when he left, it was not an easy thing for us to do. And we struggled a bit, and I know personally I struggled a lot when Mesco left, but we were strong. We had a great leader, Coach Lyles and Coach Cam, and our whole coaching staff. Just they all had to change their role every night, and everybody had to step up and do different things. So I'd say just strong and able to fight through adversity.
All right. You guys can head out, and we'll take questions for Coach now.
Thank you.
Coach Lyles, Jordan with Oklahoma. What can you just say about, obviously, you guys have fought all year, obviously, but especially, again, in that third quarter, the fight that you guys showed to bring the game within, I believe it was 5 or 7 points there before that final frame. What can you just say that you saw in your team today?
Like they said, they're just a resilient bunch. They've been resilient all year. They don't back down from a challenge, and they don't play to the scoreboard. So they continued to play hard. They continued to attack. We just had a few lapses going into the fourth, and then we couldn't come back from that. But there was never a doubt in my mind that we would come out and compete and play well.
How do you balance the, I guess, obviously, again, we knew coming in the game their size advantage that they had, and you guys put up, as you guys all year, a barrage of threes with that. Obviously, a lot of them didn't go down today, but how did you just feel about the looks that you guys got in comparison to trying to combat that with their paint presence, with Van and Beers?
Yeah, I mean, we knew going into the game we were going to be undersized pretty much 1 through 5. And so defensively, we just tried to take some things away. We gave up few like quick shots that we didn't want to give up, but you know, and then just our shots weren't falling. I think we had to shoot it a little bit quicker than we're used to, and then you know, CC hit a few shots early, kind of got us going, but you know, for the most part, we did a pretty good job with our turnovers and turning them over. But if you give up 23 offensive rebounds, it's kind of hard to come back from.
Hi, Coach. Shane with FGCU. What were you saying in the huddle there going into the fourth quarter? Because you had pulled them back and you had them kind of right where you want them. What was the message there?
You know, just stick to our defense, dig deep. You know, everybody in that huddle believed. And so, you know, they just had to stick, you know, with the game plan, making sure that we were hitting the main points again and doing those things. But at the end of the day, I'm just very proud of them. You know, they did an amazing job. They worked really hard this year. They had quite a bit of adversity they had to fight through as a group and individually, and you know, they're just resilient, and I just told them to keep fighting.
Did you ever once maybe even consider double teaming Beers down there at all? Because sometimes it looked like AP got mismatched a little bit, and she got kind of stuck down there and was kind of helpless and couldn't really stop much. But any game plan on that to try to slow her down just any bit more towards the end there?
Yeah, we were trying to send more bodies to her. We just were a little bit slower. I mean, I think towards the fourth quarter, maybe got a little bit more tired, and you know, they just did an incredible job. Monty was only able to play 16 minutes, and I just thought a lot of the players stepped up, and then in the fourth quarter, we just had a few defensive lapses and weren't able to get the look we wanted defensively on her.
Coach, what can you just say? Obviously, your first year with the program, you guys come in 30-4, go on a 23-game win streak. What can you just say, obviously, about, you know, the direction the program is headed in now, and just about your experience in this first year under the helm as a head coach now?
Yeah, I mean, I told them this experience has been the best experience of my life, and it's not because I'm sitting up here right now, and it's not because of the wins. It's because I got to see a group of girls come together, grow, and accomplish something that a lot of people doubted. So I think a lot of people saw that Coach left, and they didn't think that they were going to be able to accomplish the things they accomplished. So they came together. I got to see them grow, got to see them work towards their goals, and I love every single one of them. So this experience has been the best experience of my life, and I'm just really proud of them.
Just a couple more questions from Zoom. We'll take the question from Alex Martin.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, last year, you guys had a lot of success from behind the three-point line. Today, not so much. Just what were your thoughts on like the defense that Oklahoma was throwing at you, and what did they change relative to last season?
Well, obviously they have Beers, and she was protecting the paint a little bit more. We rely a lot on getting paint touches and then cutting, but when you just have somebody who can sit in the paint and then they can take away your shooters, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I think in the third quarter, one thing we were successful with was still attacking, and then we kind of went away from that. And then we got open looks a little bit down the stretch. We just didn't fall, but probably one of the lowest percentages we've shot this year. But I mean, they did a great job defensively, and again, just very proud of them.
Coach, what can you just say? Obviously, again, moving forward, and again, just after this year, what could you just say about the future of the program again, just with the way that, obviously, your first year with the program, you guys have planted those seeds. What would you just say about what the future looks like to you right now, if you can't even look that far right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been at FGCU a long time, and we've always been able to recruit good players. Now, obviously, college basketball is changing a lot, so you just have to make sure that you're continuing to bring in the right players, the right character kids, and then, Cece, Serena Roll, Kay Flowers, freshman, who came in, did not have an ounce of fear in her in this moment. We got Anna coming back. We got quite a few pieces coming back, and so if you can get a few kids, bring in some pieces, then, I have full confidence in the future of the program. And then our assistant coaches, Cameron Brown, Sheehan, Lisa, Kiri, they're great people. They recruit really well, and so we're going to hit the recruiting trail. We're going to try and bring in the same type of players, and then we're going to get to work. Like they said, my voice doesn't change. Semesco's gone, but we're going to still continue to stick to our standard, bring in some transfers, try and get the right kids in this program, and continue with our success.
We'll do one last question on Zoom from Jaron.
Hey, Coach, you've obviously talked a good amount about what this team means to you and to the entire program. So what was the message to the girls in the locker room?
Pretty much that I'm proud of them and that they worked really hard. They're going to all be successful in the future. All of our seniors, we had 9 people that are going to graduate, and all of them are going to be successful. We're always going to be here for them, but just told them how proud I was of them and for the work they put in this year, and that if there's anything I can do to help them along the way, I would be more than willing to do that. But the message was just my gratitude to them for stepping up, leading this team, and for the job they did this year.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Reminder, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com.